Well, a young group of enthusiasts were building this boat, this skiff, and I thought, well, it's really going to revitalise interest in the village. And it's good that there are so many people who are now in the village, who have come into the village in recent years, are taking an interest in the village again and its history. So the coastal rowers are really doing a big part in helping to revitalise people's interest in the village. So anything that helps to raise interest in the village interests me, because I've been born and brought up here. I had a very happy childhood and fortunate to have very loving parents. I was the youngest of 9, and funnily enough, I was named after my oldest brother, who died when he was only 17 at the end of the First World War. He was only 17-year-old, he died, and I was born 1920, and I was named after him. Which at times was nice, but my mother used to say, "Now your brother wouldn't have done that." So I was expected to be an angel. But it was very good, and a very good place to be born and brought up in. Everybody was your auntie and uncle, because a very close-knit community. Because in years gone by, the Society of Free Fishermen in New Haven ran this village just to be like a town council did. They provided the first schools. The first free schools were provided and maintained by the Society of Free Fishermen. And there was always, even during the really bad days of the early 30s, we always had fish. My father was a trawler skipper. I had a brother who worked in the fish market, who became a fish salesman. And but you always knew somebody that was on the fishing industry, and you never refused a pockle of fish, free fish. Even if you gave me one and he gave me one, you would take it and you would share it with neighbours. In 1928, about lunchtime, 12 o'clock, we all got home for lunch at school. We went back at 1 o'clock again. It was high tide, and there was a boat yard right opposite the school, a boat building yard, at the bottom of the Whale Brae, where all the red buildings are now. That was the Free Fishermen's Park in there. And there was a boat yard where they built fishing boats, and they were due to launch a boat. And we all got out to school, it just coincided high water time, and we pulled the boat along the street on a trolley, straight along down St Andrew Square, which is now Fish Market Square, and down the slipway into the harbour, and launched this boat called the Reliance. And when it was launched, there was a big box of sweeties scattered amongst the children, and the men all got a nip or something. They pulled it along, and the men that were helping to launch the boat, pull it along, used to have great big poles for jamming in the wheels, because there's no brakes on the trolley thing. No brakes, and to guide it, to shove the wheels over like that to get round, and to stop it, they jammed it on the wheels, the way that the shunters did in the railway. They had a big pole for putting the brake down with. And they launched that, and that was the last fishing boat built and launched in the village, until the Wee Michael was launched. That was a cold day that day. the luncheon of the wee Michael. But a huge turnout of people, that was amazing. The amount of people that turned out to see that wee boat launched. Now it just shows the amount of interest that people had now got in the village that didn't stay in the village. Leith people and Granton people that had come to see the launch of the boat, the skiff, which I thought that was amazing. All the people, all the way down the pier and round the end at the pier of the lake. And cold and raining, you know, a miserable day. And yet, all these people standing there. I said, that was good. Well, when it come to the launching of the wee Michael, I felt quite honoured. You know, being asked. But I mean, I hadn't done anything really to help the coastal rowers. That was an old bout, I suppose. But I felt very honoured to be asked to do that. And it was really, that's the first boat I've ever launched. I used to watch boats being launched from Henry Robson shipyard and Ramage and Ferguson's before that at Leith. Ships being launched, but I'd never ever taken anything to do with a launching of a boat. And in a way I felt very proud and very honoured to have been asked to do it. And I think it's wonderful that the band of people involved with the coastal rowers are really still doing so much and keeping up the good work. It says a lot for them.
I want to do some long rows. I want to hopefully win a few regattas, not just me personally, but as a team. I want to get the kids out from New Haven. I want to get the youth involved in rowing, just getting people on the water.
Sense of history, and basically the wee Michael is, in a sense, the glue which is kind of helping to hold all of this together.
I'd never ever taken anything to do with a launching of a boat, and in a way I felt very proud and very honoured to have been asked to do it.